NFL Week 14 recap. The Patriots and Steelers did not find themselves on offense. Their defenses and special teams paved the way. The Bucs had an uncharacteristically undisciplined outing under Todd Bowles. The Falcons should give Arthur Smith another offseason. The Panthers and Saints are equidistant from greatness, with the Panthers approaching it and the Saints leaving it, though both do have coaching problems. The Ravens defense hit a bump, though they are likely to beat the Jags this week. They do not have a clear road to conference champions and a Super Bowl appearance. Justin Fields did not have a breakout game. The Bears defense played well, and the Lions are yet to stabilize their volatile tendencies. Big problems there in Detroit. The Bengals defense did a fantastic job against the Colts. Meanwhile, Browning is still a one-read backup quarterback. The Browns defense is outright challenging teams to out-talent them, and few can, even while they've been missing Denzel Ward. So that is going to be a lot of fun to watch that defense carry that team as Flacco now joins the offense, he is shaking off some cobwebs but playing some pretty decent football. So the Browns are in a very interesting situation. Joe Flacco, comeback player of the year, maybe? I don't know if that counts. I don't know what the odds are, but that's an interesting thought. As for the Jags, Trevor Lawrence clearly wasn't 100%, perhaps even mentally. So many problems in that building. Zach Wilson was alright for the Jets, but it was really their defense did a great job and importantly played a lot of man coverage, which I will come back to in a bit. The Texans defense played very sloppy ball and their injuries piled up across the roster. They are in trouble. The Raiders and Vikings had a tiny bit of success on offense, wiped out by mistakes on both sides. So horrible game there, ending 3-0. Although Nick Mullins, very interesting quarterback change, came over from the Niners, had some good games with the Niners a couple years back. That's going to be interesting. They play the Bengals this Saturday. Speaking of the Niners, they had a very sloppy game against the Seahawks. It didn't matter, still a very strong win. Clearly the best team in football. If they want to and they do what they're supposed to and what they're capable of, the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl, and it will not be close. The Bills offense did a good job against an okay to good, the Bills offense did an okay to good job against a good Chiefs defense. I am putting all the feet in my mouth, which is not a reference to anything other than me not being well spoken, which is exactly what I was trying to say with that phrase, so we're killing it. The Chiefs offense is very vulnerable, being very reliant, way too reliant on Travis Kelce. They're going to have problems carrying into the playoffs. They are not currently in a position to make a Super Bowl run. Speaking of offenses, the Broncos offense has been woefully unproductive throughout the last season, and Judy's volatility is not helping that. Clearly stood out on the film, just in the game in general. Bunch of drops, couple of touchdowns, missed opportunities leading to touchdowns. Just horrible game for Judy. But outside of that, Broncos still just not moving the ball that well. As for the Eagles, Kevin Byard was clearly not enough for their secondary, and their offense has multiple pain points to address. They've had most of those all season. Obviously, the fumbles is a bit new, a bit random. Coming all together, Cowboys doing a great job. Speaking of the Cowboys, Dan Quinn should win Coach of the Year. The fact that the Cowboys are currently 10-3 and leading their division is way more due to Dan Quinn than Mike McCarthy, so I don't care about the rules of the award or anything like that. Dan Quinn should win Coach of the Year, but that's a separate rant. The Cowboys are building the momentum as their offense is stabilizing, so that's the piece I had written. And then, obviously, Dan Quinn rant is just something I've been on the whole season. I've said it before in these videos. The Titans were not able to stop Tyreek Hill, but with his injury, they were pretty much able to stop everyone else. Again, utilizing a lot of man coverage. We saw the Jets do it against the Texans. The Jets, who play the Dolphins this week, got to see what it looks like when the Titans played a lot of man coverage against the Dolphins, who were without Tyreek Hill. So that is a key injury to watch this week. Obviously, if the Jets win, they get Aaron Rodgers back and still have a shot at the playoffs. Dolphins could lose their shot at the number 1 seed if they do not win this game. So very interesting situation, although they have the Cowboys next week and then the Ravens after that. So Tyreek Hill may sit, giving the Jets one last shot. Anyway, last game of the week, Giants and Packers. If these two teams played in neutral uniforms and it was not clear which was which, you would not be able to tell the difference from the on-field product.